Welcome back to Star Wars community. Today I'm going to discuss a few popular theories floating around about Finn's parents and who they might be. I'm going to have a look at each of these theories and discuss the pros and cons of each. First up we have Lando Calrissian being the father of Finn. This is probably the most popular theory, and for good reason. Star Wars has always been a story about family and the connection between the characters and their family. While this can sometimes be a little over the top, it is a central part of Star Wars movies. Billy D. Williams, the actor who plays Lando, attended the Force Awakens premiere and late last year mentioned in an interview with Cinelex he had a feeling he was going to show up in Episode 8 but wasn't able to discuss anything further. It is certainly within reason that after the events of Return of the Jedi, Lando would have settled down and had a child, but it is very difficult to imagine how Lando would have allowed this son to be taken by the First Order and trained as a stormtrooper. It is also clear that Finn made the choice to leave the First Order and gave no real indication that he was with the First Order for the purpose of gathering information as a double agent or anything to that effect. I do believe that Lando as Finn's father has some merit to it, but it would require some considerable explaining of how he was allowed to be taken by the First Order for it to make any sense. Next up we have the theory that Finn's father or grandfather is Mace Windu. The last time we saw Windu, he was falling out of a window. Yes, a window. Missing a hand and after being brutally struck by Force lightning from Sidious. At first glance, anyone would assume he died, but we have seen from the past that lightsaber injuries cauterize wounds, which means the loss of a limb is not a death sentence. And the Force lightning, while inflicting considerable pain and damage, has also been seen in Return of the Jedi when Luke was hit by Sidious's lightning, that he could recover from it and even start moving around a short time after. However, the fall itself is just another story, as the combination of having your hand cut off and being hit by Force lightning would make it very difficult to regain yourself to stop a certain death as a result of the fall. But if he did survive and later fathered a child, it is possible that this was either Finn or Finn's father. The part of this theory that holds the most weight is it would explain Finn being Force sensitive, having a father or grandfather who was strong in the Force. However, I still think it would be a bit much for Star Wars fans to expect Windu to have survived the fall, and from what we've seen so far, they're trying to stay as far away from the prequels as they possibly can. Finally, we have Zare Leonis as Finn's father or uncle. This was suggested to me by a subscriber, Tok-O. Yeah, I definitely didn't pronounce that right. Anyway, moving on. Zare is a character from Rebels and the novel's Servants of the Empire. He infiltrated the Galactic Empire to rescue his sister, Zare Leonis, who had gone missing after being taken by the Empire to be made into a stormtrooper. The sister had been identified as Force sensitive and abducted by the Grand Inquisitor. Her being Force sensitive certainly increases the possibility that Finn could be related to either of these two characters. Zare successfully rescued his sister and they would later return home to their parents. The timeline of the events and the ages of these two characters are spot on for either of them having a child that would be around Finn's age. Rebels has been using a lot of material from both the movies and Legends recently, and I believe there would be a chance that the movie may use material from Rebels for movies as a way to link the two together to help increase the audience of Rebels. My theory for how Finn would have been taken from the Leonis family is a result of the Empire later returning after finding the family and killing them for their actions against the Empire, and taking Finn as a small child to train him as a stormtrooper, which would explain his limited memories of his family. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Please let me know in the comments below if any of these theories are ones you believe in, or perhaps he's just a new character altogether. New Star Wars content Monday, Wednesday and Fridays here at Star Wars Community.